Imagine holding the golden key to dominating your fantasy football league this NFL season, and it just might be hidden in the Philadelphia Eagles offense. As the 2025 NFL season prepares to launch this Thursday, many fans are already deep in the trenches of crafting their fantasy football rosters, anxiously weighing every player choice. But here's where it gets controversial. With a run-heavy offense led by star running back Saquon Barkley and the shining presence of A.J. Brown, who on the Eagles truly stands out as the fantasy must-have to secure your championship? ESPN's NFL Nation reporters have put together a comprehensive guide to each team's top performers, potential pitfalls, and key predictions designed to help fantasy managers come out on top this year. When it comes to the Eagles, the spotlight falls squarely on wide receiver DeVonta Smith as the player most likely to help you crush your competition. Why Smith? Even though Philadelphia's offense leans heavily on the ground game, Smith has been a consistent fantasy asset. Over the last 3 seasons, he ranked among the top 20 wide receivers in PPR points per reception formats, demonstrating reliability that fantasy players crave. In 2024, Smith averaged an impressive 7.1 targets per game and scored 14.4 fantasy points per contest. Notably, he had 4 standout games where he racked up 22 or more fantasy points, proving he can be a game-changer despite being in the shadow of Brown. Smith consistently functions as a dependable wide receiver 3 in an offense that is effective at moving the chains and finding the end zone. Now, this raises an important concern many fantasy owners wrestle with. Won't Smith's value dip because he plays second fiddle to A.J. Brown and because the Eagles favor the run? It's a logical worry, yet when healthy, Smith's production defies that narrative. Despite missing several games last season, he's still ranked as the 27th best wide receiver in fantasy football. ESPN's current projections even place him slightly higher at 25th for this season. Plus, with Jalen Hurts at quarterback and an expanding arsenal of offensive weapons, the potential for Smith to pop and deliver breakout performances in 2025 is very real. Digging deeper into the projections, multiple respected sources forecast Smith catching between 70 and 85 passes, amassing 850 to 1,000 receiving yards, and tallying 7 to 9 touchdowns for the year. This output translates into a fantasy points range between 197 and 237 in standard PPR scoring, a solid foundation for a WR2 or a flex spot on your roster. If Smith can consistently deliver around 11.6 to 14 fantasy points per game, he becomes a dependable contributor week after week, a luxury fantasy managers dream of. And this is the part most people miss. Despite recent injury worries that had fans biting their nails, ESPN reports that as of Monday, Smith has been cleared off the Eagles' injury report with no designation against him. This means he's expected to be fully healthy and ready when the Eagles face off against the Dallas Cowboys to open the 2025 NFL season on Thursday night. So here is the big question to you. In an offense that heavily features the run and pairs Smith with a dominant WR1, will DeVonta Smith live up to the hype as your fantasy league's secret weapon? Or do you believe his role as the secondary option will hold him back from truly explosive fantasy seasons? Share your thoughts below. Are you locking Smith into your lineup, or are you still on the fence about his value? This debate could define your fantasy season.